everybody. Welcome to the TechRaptor podcast. I'm Robert Scarpanito, your features editor.
And Rutten, editor-in-chief.
Austin Souther, staff writer.
Yeah, and this week, we're here to talk about a lot of blades and razors. It's a very sharp, cutting-edge podcast we got going on.
We're very technical this week also. We have a lot of technical things to go over with how the technology works in a certain game.
We're putting the tech in Raptor.
The tech in
No,
Raptor.
we don't write about tech anymore. That we got rid of that.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
5, 6, 7 years ago, whatever. It was.
Yeah, it was a brilliant move by Rutledge, really. Like,
Well,
Yeah,
he just randomly. You know how I came up with this name? Like a child. He had two things he liked, and he just slapped them together, like a decade ago.
mean, I believe
He
it.
will not disagree with my explanation of that, by the way.
I mean, it's honest, really.
Yeah, sure.
And to be fair, at least you know what you're getting, right? Like,
Do you though?
We don't have a
Yeah.
lot of Raptors on the site.
you
Well,
guys
we
haven't
could
found the
change that.
Raptor button on our...
There's some. There
Sorry.
are some Raptors.
Yeah.
There is.
But this week, we've got Stellar Blade. Austin, you've been playing Stellar Blade, the upcoming Shift Up action game.
Yes.
I
Shift
thought it
Up
was a physics game.
is...
Aren't all games physics games?
Are we really
Since
going to
Half-Life
be
2,
this
they
way
are.
about the game?
That's all I know about it.
Look, all right. Shift Up, known for Nikkei. If you know what Nikkei is, then you can probably expect
Sounds
a couple
dirty.
things in terms of physics. But weird shit aside, yeah, I've been playing Stellar Blade, and by the time this is up, you should be able to read my review. But if you're interested in hearing more, I would say, okay, so I'll spoil the intro of my review, and it's still in editing, but it's probably going to stay, and that is, I think Eve from Stellar Blade belongs on the Mount Rushmore of character action games. Like, if you had a Mount Rushmore, you got, like, Dante, right, from Devil May Cry,
Okay.
maybe 2B from Nier. I mean, she's pretty iconic, right? Put your
Yeah.
third in, whoever. It's all very
Yeah, that one
opinionated.
dude from Scalebound, I think. It would be my third pick.
Yeah, headphones guy, right?
Yeah.
He's my favorite.
No, I want the guy from Paradise Lost bullshit who walks out with his
Oh,
phone
Jack?
with Beastie Boys. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's pretty
Right?
iconic.
Yeah. Nah. Okay,
Yeah,
so this is a pretty crowded Mount Rushmore, maybe like 10 spaces, but like in the 10th space you put Eve, right? I mean, I think
So you're saying you would put Eve before Bayonetta?
look, man, I didn't play
I say
Bayonetta.
Bayonetta's got to be on there.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I bet Bayonetta's gonna have a hard time being better than Stellar Blade. Like, the combat is actually that good. And I know you're saying, I look, I see your face, but you haven't played Stellar Blade. I guess I haven't played Bayonetta, so that just
Yeah,
that
so
puts
what are
us
you
at an
talking about?
impasse, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
like, and I played the demo for Stellar Blade, so
No, see, okay, so the progression in Stellar Blade is probably one of the more strong aspects of the game, because as you go on, of course, you get more and more abilities, but your arsenal actually, even though you're still using a sword the whole time, you get a lot of different abilities, and by the end of it, it feels really, really good to play. You know, you've got your parrying, your perfect dodges, you have like 2 different sets of like, you have like beta skills and burst skills, and within those there are 4 each, so that's 8 skills that you can use, different meters. Look, it gets more complex as you go on, but it just feels really good. Yeah, I know it's rambling, but there's a lot to it, so
yeah. I mean, when I played the demo, it reminded me a lot more of Sekiro than I think I expected.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
definitely.
With the parrying, it's not as like hard as Sekiro, because that game is well, at least the demo wasn't. But yeah, it was more of that vibe than like a Devil May Cry, which I was kind of surprised by.
I mean, I hate to draw so many comparisons because I like games that just kind of stand on their own, but like, if you're trying to get a gauge on what this game is like, then it's honestly just a mix between Sekiro and like Devil May Cry, because you have the precision parrying part of Sekiro that is really vital, and like breaking the enemy's gauge so that they can stagger basically. And then you have like the the quick attacks with abilities that you chain together like Devil May Cry. I think it kind of just takes like the best from all those games and puts it in and makes it its own thing, which honestly is like the best I could have hoped for. So yeah, the combat, it just kind of blew me away. I guess the only complaint I had was like parrying can be a little sluggish, which sucks because it was so precise in Sekiro that you want to be able to, I don't know, like split second, parry an attack, but you kind of have to be a bit more deliberate here. And I found this item that actually made like the parry window a lot easier, and that actually made my enjoyment go up, which is interesting. So I'm wondering, like, down the line if they'll fix it, if they'll, like, I don't know what they're going to do, but I think that aspect of the combat is going to be kind of divisive for players, so we'll see.
Yeah, I could see that. As far as length goes, how long did it take you to finish the game?
I almost made a bad joke.
Yeah, there've been a few. It's real easy to make a lot of tasteful jokes about this game.
We don't stand for that around here.
No, we don't. Yeah, so the developer ahead of time said it was like 25 to 50 hours depending on how long you play it, or like how much you do in the game. There's side quests, so that can take up a good amount. I don't think it would take up to 50 hours from what I've seen, but it took me actually like around 25 doing a mix of both, doing a pretty large portion of side quests, and then I decided that I just wanted to finish the game because, reviewers have a deadline. So yeah, it got around that point. I was a little disappointed that there's no New Game Plus yet, because this game really merits that, but apparently that's on the way, so we'll see.
You have to pay for that. That's the new thing, right?
Oh god, I hope not.
It is kind of weird how many games recently have been doing like New Game Plus as an update later on.
So dumb, especially when they're like, so many are pretty like half-assed. It's just like, all right, just play it again, and that's about it.
But with all your skills.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you mean the bare minimum of what a New Game Plus is? Okay.
I mean, like, I'm not a developer, but it just doesn't seem like that huge a task that it deserves like months delay. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
you don't know anything.
Don't cancel
that. Don't go down that road.
Yeah.
How hard could it be? You just change the hat from red to green, and it jumps the same.
Yeah, it's just a hex code.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. All right, now let's talk about what's really important when it comes to this game.
Yeah.
What about the different skins for your character? Are there other ways?
So many freaking skins.
I figured there would be. I was just guessing. I knew nothing going in. I had not read there was anywhere. I just knew there was going to be.
You kind of know what this game's about.
Yeah.
I'm a fiend for cosmetics, all right? I'm one of those suckers that'll pay for cosmetics in games. And I know that's terrible. But
I want to just isolate that I'm a fiend. I have that quote out, and just have it be Austin Souther on Stellar Blade, and like that's your take. Just that.
No,
I'm a fiend.
I'm a fiend. Yeah, I can see the disappointment in Robert's eyes. No, there's a lot of skins. There's like 30 or something, and in my review,
and you looked at them all.
Well, no, I didn't find them all, but in my review, I made sure to have like a different skin in each
there
picture.
You go. Show them off.
Variety is the spice of life. Some of them I actually can't show in the review because I don't know, Google might not like that. So
they're like that, not safe for work.
I mean, there's one where some bits are really hanging out, if you know what I mean.
Wow. Well, I mean, I'm not surprised, but
yeah, like more lewd than the skin suit. The skin suit is.
This is the perfect time for you to wade into the new discourse where people are talking about how they portray sexuality and why people are hot or not. Go.
Yeah.
Why is Eve hot?
Give us your 10 cents.
Yeah. Why is Eve hot and Aphrodite or not hot and Aphrodite is from Hades? Go.
This is just sabotaging me. No, I'll say this.
I'm not moving on until you comment. No.
No, I do have a comment, and It is, guys. It's no different than Nier Automata or Bayonetta or anything like that. So stop being weird. Just play it and enjoy it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the grown-up argument, but
It is.
the
but
internet
it's
is not
the
going that
truth.
way.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's kind of silly is that everyone can look at Nier Automata and Bayonetta in hindsight, and usually what the knee-jerk reaction is, oh, but those had real stories. Bayonetta was written to be like a full-fledged character, not just tits and ass, right? And it's like, yes, we know that because we have gotten the chance to all play the video game and experience what the developers had in mind. And that is not true yet for Stellar Blade. Outside of people who've reviewed it.
I think it's that, and I think that there's something in the main. It's Eve? Is that the main character's name?
Yeah.
And her design that's kind of generic in a
Doll-like.
way, where like Bayonetta's got a very unique qualities that you can recall immediately. I mean, she shoots fucking guns out of her stilettos and stuff, like crazy stuff like that. Where this is just not going on here. And I think that's part of where kind of the comparisons come in.
I mean, I think a big part of it too, if we're going to make the direct Bayonetta Eve comparison, is Bayonetta like truly struts around. Like she knows she's sexy and she owns it. And there's a part of her character where she's kind of reclaiming that sexuality, which is why she's been like a queer icon in a way. Eve, it feels like she seems like the kind of character where a story happens to her.
Yeah.
You know,
You haven't played the game, but you're right.
That's okay, fair. But yes, maybe that's like where a lot of people are having a knee-jerk reaction to.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, she's definitely a character. Like she's not voiceless. She talks as much as the other characters, but
yeah, I guess it's a level of agency over what kind of ownership over what happens in the game in terms of like how are they affecting the world, or how are they affecting the story, or how they their wants, desires, doing stuff. Because I mean, could I just replace Eve with another hero? Could Link be Eve? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean that'd be a very
popular
an image.
game. Yeah, get those physics on Link.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
hey,
man.
Link would be hotter.
I don't know about that. Link's pretty hot.
Yeah. Wait, yeah. I don't know. I'm curious to see what the game is like for myself, because I think I've said this before on the pod. Stellar Blade very quickly went from being like a game I was very excited for to a game I'm very annoyed about because of the chuds online, which is really, it's just a classic example of the fandom ruining something, and in this case before it's even out.
Over like a really dumb reason. It's such a stupid argument.
Yeah.
I've definitely blocked that subreddit and just ignore it on Twitter as much as I can because it's ridiculous. I'm just like, as a reviewer, it sucks that you have to consider, all right, when I give it this score, damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you rate it low, one side is going to be really mad at you, and then if you rate it high, they're going to, put you on a pedestal. But at the end of the day, I was honest with my feelings with the game, and I think, I didn't put any of that, like, any discourse into it. I just reviewed it like any other game.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be in there.
Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. I think, especially because right now, I think the discourse is going to radically change once the game is out, right? So there's kind of no real point in mulling over it.
It's one of those dumb things where it's just people are talking, like having, like I've seen the comparisons like recently that's going on, at least as of today, when we're recording this, people are comparing like Eve to like Aphrodite from Hades and stuff, and like why that one's good and she's not good. And it's like, well, they're two different goals. Like they're not trying to necessarily make Eve this kind of thing. Like if it's like, all right, you're just a visually appealing thing, and that's fine to exist that way, just as it's fine to make something that has a little more effort into why their sexuality is important or whatever, or why they look the way they do, or they show themselves the way they do. Like not everybody has to have a justification. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's fine for them not to.
Do people forget that like all the Greek gods and goddesses were naked all the time?
Yeah, Dionysus was so horny.
I mean, all of them. Zeus. That man was
most of like the beef that the gods have is because someone fucked somebody else or something like crazy. It's all that.
Basically, Zeus fucked somebody else.
It's usually Zeus. Yeah.
It's usually
Zeus is a real bastard, kind of like Odin
Yeah.
in Norse mythology. He's a real dick.
But I don't know. I'm excited to see Stellar Blade. Like, I'm curious what the other review scores are looking like because we're recording this before embargo.
Before
right?
the scores are out, so we have no idea where to land.
Yeah.
But I mean, it sounds like just one of those solid games. Like it will be if it has combat, as you're saying, that is that good, it's going to be popular. I mean, usually if something has a higher budget that does a gameplay loop well enough or some kind of combat well enough, like it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I think it's going to review at the very least all right.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody can say it's like a truly bad game because it's not. Like, I mean, obviously I liked it, but like it is a mechanically very solid game, and very well made. Runs absolutely amazing on the PS5 for how good it looks. So that was really nice. And also like the demo numbers are going crazy for that game. It's like over 500,000 people are playing every day or something like that. It's nuts.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for what reason?
Well, one reason or another. That's all I can say.
I'm just like, I played through part of that demo. I don't see a reason to play it every day.
Dude, people are doing like no hit runs and shit on the boss there. They're like optimizing their runs, like speed running a freaking demo. It's crazy.
I mean, crazy.
The combat's good, but like, chill out a bit. It's a demo, guys.
Yeah. I don't know. Because like I'm really just I'm wondering how the discourse is going to be once people are playing it too. Because there is this level of like because there's that thing they're doing where if you play with the nude skin suit, it makes the game harder, right? Because you don't have your shields. Is what I remember reading.
Yeah, I think. Well, I didn't play the demo because I knew I was going to review it soon. I didn't have a chance to use the skin suit because I think that's the only way to unlock it. But I know that.
Did you play with a demo?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Because I didn't get it in the game. And I think you just like have less health or something, and that makes it more difficult. So
Yeah, but then there's just that layer though of like hardcore gamer plus chud gamer Venn diagram. I'm just like, man, that's gonna suck when people are like, oh wow, you didn't beat Dark Souls.
Yeah,
you didn't beat it with the horny outfit.
I will say this. I got a game journalist exclusive mode.
Whoa.
And that's the way I say it, because there was a bug where I didn't unlock one of the skill trees that I was supposed to. And this skill tree makes you invincible for a period of time. So the final boss was freaking tough without that, but I did it. Didn't adjust the difficulty or anything.
Wow, pro gamer.
I thought that was interesting.
What a brag.
Yeah. Not even humble.
No.
Hey, look, man, I'm a G, all right. God, I'm so stupid.
No, that can't come out of that face. No.
Yeah, so that's enough embarrassing me. How about you? How are you guys doing?
Well, I much like you am a pro gamer because I've been playing with a Razer headset tuned by fellow pro gamers.
That's how you know the proest gamers use that brand.
That's true. No, Razer sent us this the new BlackShark V2 Pro, which it's already been out for PC, but this is their new console version, the one that works with PS5 and Xbox. This is my first time really using a pro gamer headset. Like, I've never really played with them before. I use like old Logitech ones, but since then I've been using the stock ones that come with that don't come with PS5 and Xbox, but like the official ones, and it got to a point where with the PS5 one, the audio where the mic wasn't as clear, and I don't know if that was my issue or like the unit itself issue. So it was kind of serendipitous that this thing came around, and this thing, the audio is way clearer, like both the mic and the headset, which is kind of nice. I found that it makes Fortnite scary in a fun way.
How so?
It's one of those, like, you can hear the footsteps and it's 3D, so you can triangulate and use the positioning.
You want to listen to footsteps before? You are a fucking scrub, dude.
No, I mean, you can. I've heard the footsteps before, but there's something about the
Okay.
way it's tuned. Like, I don't know what it is. Like they've worked with pro gamers. So here's the
Whoa.
kind of weird thing, right? So there's
That's how
there's
you
like
know you can trust it.
Is it ninja backed?
it's not ninja, but
No.
like so there's like 6 presets on the device when you get it. Well, kind of 7, but so there's like game, movie, and music, right?
Mhm.
And then there's the pro gamer
Whoa.
ones
Oh,
for
wow.
Call of Duty, Apex Legends, and Fortnite. The
PG.
only 3 shooters in the world.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
so they've worked with pros who play those games to like find the perfect EQ to maximize like the ping to footsteps ratio. I guess I don't quite know what they're looking for.
That definitely sounds like quite the marketing gimmick.
So,
Yep.
in your review, did you test it on regular mode, and then did you test on pro gamer mode? Because I think you need to do that if you didn't.
I did. Well, so what I did is I booted up Fortnite and I played around in game mode because I figure that just makes sense. And then I changed it over to the pro gamer ones, and I played it first on the Fortnite mode, and then the Apex and Call of Duty ones. And there was something kind of weird about how the Fortnite mode does kind of feel like, oh, this feels like the right, like for some reason the footsteps are a little muddier in Apex and the Call of Duty modes than on the Fortnite mode. And that could just be the way that those games are tuned, right? Like the EQ, like it just
Yeah.
depends on what bands the footsteps are coming in. Like I imagine with Apex and Call of Duty, the footsteps are kind of heavier and manlier because they're more serious games versus Fortnite being like I got killed by fucking, Sasuke from Jujutsu Kaisen. I forget his name now.
Sasuke from Jujutsu Kaisen?
Fushiguro. He's Sasuke, all right?
Gojo?
He's just No, that's Kakashi.
Oh, okay. Goku. Yeah.
Is that? Are you talking about Vegeta?
They're all Gokus.
Yeah,
in the
they're all
end.
Vegetas and Gokus.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's we gotta get back to the base level.
Yeah,
I know Goku, Vegetas, and Bulmas.
those are the only character archetypes in anime, honestly.
Those are the main ones.
Yeah,
You got your cool ones like Trunks and whatnot. You know, that's the cool guy.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
You're
with the
right.
sword.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Frieza,
Yeah.
The bad guy.
That's a little
right?
creep.
Yeah.
Like
creep.
me. Goblins.
No, you're that short guy from the Ginyu Force.
Oh,
The purple-
but he's
Goldo.
isn't he like really fat though?
Goldo. Yeah, you're Goldo.
the green guy, little green
Yeah,
guy.
I don't know.
I
Yeah.
don't know if that's. I don't know if I like that.
But I don't know. It's interesting using one of these pro headsets like in a way where this definitely feels tuned for people who are trying like who want to actually be called a shot caller. You know what I mean? Like those people who really know what they're doing in these
Sure.
kind of competitive games, right? And really want to like do flanking maneuvers and strategies and stuff like that. Like this seems like a really great headset for that.
So did your performance improve within the game swapping to that profile?
I wouldn't say that. I don't play a lot of battle royale competitive type games, so in general,
So you're saying you didn't win?
I did not. I got second place a few times, but did not
It's
win.
not
But
first, though.
way easier to hear footsteps for sure, and be able to kind of tell if it's above or below me, which is kind of hard to do with some headsets if they don't have that 3D audio to kind of
Yeah, they don't
feel
have
like
good
it's above or
soundscape.
below. Yeah,
How many FPS does it give
soundstage.
you?
it gave me 40 FPS.
Whoa, that's like
that's
10 more than
boost.
you can like see.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
Wow.
it's a nice boost. Yeah. But I think they do like with the mic, it's like a lot of other mics use 16 hertz bands. This one uses 32 hertz bands, so it's like double the usual of mic or kilohertz. But so that way it can like capture more of your voice, which realistically not that big a difference. Like
Sure.
you don't need 32 kilohertz to capture the human voice, but it's
better
capturing
than
more of your voice.
usual.
Whoa.
I'm
The
actually
number
curious. I know you're big into music, so as like a music headphone, how is it good? Like, would you suggest that? Because I mean, it's mainly for gamers, right? But like,
Yeah. I haven't tested it yet with music.
Does it
'cause
have
I
a
think
Taylor Swift setting?
It does not, but there
Oh,
is a
yeah.
custom preset where then on the PlayStation you have to download the app to set it, but I couldn't get it to work yet, and I don't know if it's because of like embargo reasons or whatever. Like I got it earlier than
Maybe.
but and then if you're on Xbox, there's just a dedicated like an app on the Xbox store, or if you're on PC, you can download it there too. So you can create your own Taylor Swift EQ
Whoa.
if that's what you'd like.
Damn.
But for music, I haven't tried it yet, only because it doesn't quite fit my music life. Like I don't boot up my PlayStation to listen to Spotify. So I haven't really.
You call yourself a gamer?
I know. No, I use it on my phone, and then when I tried to Bluetooth connect it to my phone, that also didn't work. Like it would connect and then disconnect immediately. So
you got to listen to some Metallica.
I do. Yes, I do.
That's a very gamer music.
How about some like Seether?
I feel like it's not really modern gamer music.
No.
If any of the gamer
there should be a boomer
Spotify.
shooter with Metallica soundtrack. That'd be actually kind of rad.
I mean,
is that just Doom?
That's
Kinda.
just Doom or the Hellsinger game. Like you can just
Metal Hellsinger.
put like whatever tracks you want into it. And...
Yeah.
But Metallica with that would be actually pretty fun cool.
That'd be cool. But I think both the PS5 and Xbox versions, they can connect to PC as well, from what I understand. So I might test it out on my PC
so
too.
Did you watch any movies with it, since that was another setting?
I did not. Not yet.
Disc.
Yeah,
just-
only
gotta-
gaming so far. I played.
You should boot up. You should search for a movie called Happiness and watch that.
No, I refuse
Why?
because it doesn't live up to the name. I know this trick.
No, it's a good movie. It's got Philip Seymour Hoffman in it. He's a good actor. It's a good movie.
Maybe.
Everybody go watch Happy. Don't look it up.
I'm looking it
Just
up.
go find where to stream it and watch it.
Yeah. And then we'll talk about it next week.
It's got the best final line of any movie I've ever watched. It is great. You know, I just want to do that. Let's just talk about Happiness. Let's just do a podcast on that.
I spoiled it.
Wow. In the time he said I'm Googling it to now. That's how long it took.
What did you spoil? The end?
The final line.
Oh, it's a good line.
It is a good line.
Wow.
If you know.
Anyway,
you know.
go watch Happiness.
Yeah.
Not a movie a lot of people know about, but it's a good movie. It's fucked up.
I don't know. So far, it's pretty neat. I don't know if I personally will like invest deeper into the pro gamer headset space.
Well,
it
you
is
got
nice-
the headset already. You got to get the other gear.
That's true.
know
If you do
what
want to
else
use
there
it on
is.
both, I think you want to have the Xbox one because that one is usable on PlayStation as well, from what I understand. The PS5 version doesn't work on Xbox because Xbox has
Figures.
extra security chips or something that it needs in it,
Oh,
which is a tricky little extra.
weird.
Yeah.
Or security crisps if you're British.
Yep. And something too that
Ooh.
this will be, if you are in the market for them, one thing I will say, I haven't run into this as a problem yet, but the marketing will say 72 hours of battery life, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
But then in probably smaller parentheses, they'll say 48 hours on consoles. So just keep
Ooh.
that in mind. If you do buy the console version and for some reason you do 70-hour gaming marathons, first seek help, but then also just consider that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But overall, neat little piece of tech. Very comfortable too. I mean, I was playing it for like
Well, I think
5
that's
hours.
got to be like a number one priority for a gaming headset, you'd think.
Yeah, it's super light too, which I think that's a
Yeah.
big thing for them. Because I mean, pro gamers are playing for like what 8+ hours a day.
That's right. They want their mouse to be the weight of a quarter or some
Yeah.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
And what I found important with headsets before I got my bionic eyes was that if you're a glasses wearer, it's important to have like a nice, comfortable headset. But it
Yeah.
seems like, I mean, your glasses wearer, it seems like you're completely fine with it. Works well.
Yeah. It didn't bother me at all. Like I didn't even notice anything related to the glasses, at least. And yeah, I played Fortnite. I played Final Fantasy Rebirth on this, and I played some Helldivers on this too, using that for like communication as well. It's all been pretty rock solid. Explosions and Helldivers are fucking scary with these things on.
Nice.
Yeah, but that's
Another
the
tool
Black
for
Shark.
democracy.
Yeah, the BlackShark V2 Pro should be available now if you're curious about it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Become a pro
Hell
gamer.
Mm-hmm. A BlackShark
Instantly.
Pro.
Instantly pro gamer status.
Now we just need some RGB and like.
No, RGB's for the fake pro gamers. Those are for the
RGB
wannabes.
adds like 2 FPS at least.
That's what the delusional people tell themselves that think they're cool. It's
Okay.
like the people that like put a lot of tinted stuff on their cars and get loud mufflers. They're actually really fucking lame.
I mean, they are objectively cool if they do that, though.
No, they certainly want to tell you that they're cool. But they're
Speaking of
not.
mufflers, somebody's got one going on.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, there's some construction right outside of my street. I've been trying to monitor my mic to keep it off if I can.
Man, they got the jackhammer
Oh, I thought
out.
since you're in America, those were gunshots. Get it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I get because you two aren't in America. You don't get that.
Yeah.
Never. We're not in the big city. We're not in one of them blue cities. All this crime. It's
That's
election
true.
year. We got to make it topical.
Yeah, Seattle is still a hellhole.
Who are you guys
sure,
voting for? Anyway, let's talk about that.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
I'm voting for what's his name? Mickey O'Donnell, Mickey Mouse.
Oh,
O'Donnell.
Mickey Mouse.
Now that's a name I haven't heard in a while.
The Halo guy. He's running.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Marty.
yeah.
Well, he's running
Marty.
in Nevada. You don't
Yeah.
live in Nevada,
That's
unfortunately.
true. Yeah, and
You
also
know-
I am not voting for.
He could have the sickest soundtrack for his campaign, though.
No, he
I'm
couldn't.
just saying.
He could just steal it.
Yes.
I don't think he has rights to it. He just wrote it.
No, I mean like he could write his own freaking
Write his
soundtrack.
own. Yeah, I hope that's what he uses his time for.
I mean that's about the only thing he's good for, I guess. Right?
That's fair.
Approved by Marty O'Donnell.
Please don't hurt me.
I approve this message.
It is weird seeing gaming people getting into something real like politics like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't Kurt Schilling do that? Was it Kurt Schilling or who was the guy that did 38 Studios, the Red Sox player?
Oh, yeah, he did. I don't remember. I think Kurt Schilling might be right.
I don't know. I know there's a Red Sox player that lives in town that might be the same guy.
Yeah, I remember. I know what you're talking about though. Interesting.
It's one of the Anyways, it is Kurt Schilling.
Yeah.
Hey, he joined Breitbart in 2016
Hey, good.
That's a
Good for
sign.
him.
That's
after his hit that
Nice.
was Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning.
a hit. I don't know about it.
As we know,
It had cult status.
It
I don't
released.
know cult classic, but
it was
cult
a hit
status.
to the Rhode Island
it's-
economy.
Yeah. Mhm.
That game sucks. Let's be honest.
It's like a single player MMO.
It's terrible.
So
It's kind of
Yeah.
like the bad parts of Final Fantasy 16. That's what Kingdom of Amalur is. All the
Damn.
badness
that's pretty bad,
of
actually.
16. Yeah, that's they are pretty bad. You're right.
That's shit.
There's a big chunks of Final Fantasy 16 that are just terrible.
Mostly the
also-
side quests.
But also parts of it that are like some of the raddest fucking things I've ever seen in a game. Like that's
Okay,
the
but, like,
dichotomy of
You know,
it.
tangent. You said mostly the side quests. How much better though are Final Fantasy VII Rebirths? Because there's some
miles.
shitters in there. Some real shitters.
There are
like
some not great ones.
chicken
You're right.
side
Yeah,
quests
like
can go.
the chicken
to
one
die.
is the worst.
But there's miles better ones. They're way better.
Yes,
Ah,
I agree. Well, because I think there's a lot of side quests that do pay off, like the party dynamic, that is pretty good in Seven
Okay, well,
Rebirth
yeah,
for the
that's
most
true.
part, right? Like,
Because there is
they're-
no party dynamic in 16.
yeah, it's just Clive,
Just Clive.
just Clive.
True.
And he's an angsty
Torgal.
boy.
Torgal.
No, yeah, the 7 Rebirth side quests are way better. They got a lot more character to them. Definitely
yeah,
more
that's fair.
payoff to them. They vie with the world a little more, and you get to do more interesting things with them.
There were still a
Yeah.
few where I wanted to pull my hair. Let's be honest.
Oh, there's definitely
The chicken. Chicken ones suck.
And there's
so
some
much.
too many. There's like too many. It's like, all right, pump the fucking brakes on these. I don't need to do this many.
Well, I honestly don't think it's the side quests that are too many so far. I think it's more the open world bullshit. The like you got to fight
Yeah.
these six super enemies to unlock the 7th super enemy.
Yeah,
you gotta do
that
these
also
towers.
gives you a unique thing, so you can make a thing. And yeah,
that stuff I think
Well,
is
yeah,
worse than the side quests.
it's better than 15, and 16's not really open world, but it's kind of semi-open world. It's more hubby, whatever. We can argue that. But 15's was definitely open world, and its open world is hot, sticky garbage, just terrible. One of the worst in modern gaming. And Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is just kind of better. Like they still
it's
are
like
not. They
Xenoblade,
still
so it's
don't.
good.
Square Enix doesn't know how to do open world still.
I am really curious about how they're going to do in the third part with like getting the high wind and everything. Like
You can kind of go anywhere, yeah.
Yep.
Well, seemingly you could go anywhere. I wonder if they'll give you that freedom.
I think it's gonna be pretty ambitious. They have to, because
Yeah.
they
I
already
mean,
went
that's-
big with Rebirth.
They
So
did
now
go
I have
big
to
with
go
Rebirth.
bigger.
I honestly a little too big to me.
Maybe a little.
A little.
Maybe a little.
I think I'm still not done with Rebirth. I'm in chapter 11 and unlock the second wave of open world bullshit, which made me just want to stop. And it's just a small wave, and I'm just like, man, I'm tired.
It's not that small either.
Well, no, chapter 11, that's the Nibelheim. It's just like
Oh.
the 4 proto relics. That's all that's left. And I'm like, okay.
There's more.
Oh,
buddy.
there's more after that.
There's more.
Because I had the same idea as you. There was one night that I had off work. I was like, all right, I think I could probably finish Rebirth tonight. Like, I just wrapped up all this stuff. I'll go do the last things.
Yep.
And then it fucked me.
It
I
slaps you in the face
put in
with
our
more.
Slack. I was like, it did a Final Fantasy 16. It did it.
All right.
It
Yeah,
does it to
and
you.
I told you that too,
Yeah.
and you probably thought you hit that
Fuckers.
point.
I
but
thought
you
I did.
Not.
No.
All
Well,
right,
no,
that's-
Scrappy didn't hit that point.
Yeah,
yet.
no, I haven't hit. I know that's coming. I just didn't.
Let's just say they give you a reason to return to every area.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
you
it was
gotta
at
fly
that
with
point
Sid.
that I finished it. I didn't go back.
Well, you don't have to fly with Sid, but I will say nothing more.
Okay.
If you don't want
Teleport.
to. You don't.
Who knows? But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the game, and I think overall, if we're talking just the big JRPGs that have dominated the first quarter of the year, I think I like Infinite Wealth more.
Yeah, I need to get
That's
back
fair.
to 7.
I
I'm not
like a dragon.
surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think overall, like I think what really hit me is that Infinite Wealth. There is a lot of bloat in that too, but the
Sure.
bloat is charming. At some point, the
Yes.
bloat in Rebirth is annoying. It just
Yeah. The
Pointless.
charm wears off. It's like, all right, let's get a move on here.
yeah.
Sometimes. Yeah. Well,
But the charm of capturing street thugs to make them fight each other to win the fight against the discrete 4 who are
Beautiful.
controlling the underground, like that doesn't work. That's just fucking funny.
It's good
the
stuff.
whole time. Yeah.
I'm actually gonna be really curious when you go to Dragon's Dogma, because you're either gonna love the open world or hate it.
Yeah.
Because it's not necessarily bloated, but it's a very different approach to open world.
From what I hear, it's very
Yeah.
deliberate. Like every move you make is deliberate. Like it has to be
I
specific.
suppose. I mean,
deliberate in the sense that if you want to be efficient.
yeah.
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 And then there's Persona, which would be my JRPG.
I'm
of the
just
year
gonna
so
wait till
far.
the whole
Yeah.
thing comes out.
Well, that was my
The whole-
mistake.
Yeah, where they're gonna add the extra bit, the
Of
whatever,
course, they were
Oh.
gonna do that. Of
which
course.
is
Yes, sir.
apparently terrible, not good, is what I've heard.
Not great.
But so maybe I won't wait. But Robert, I've always think about when I think of Persona, wrote a feature about this or an opinion about this, about the problem with Persona's most complete like version. Like, should you just wait for that? Like when I played Persona 5, knowing Royal was around the corner, maybe not, because now I've played through Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal, which are not fucking small games.
That's
It is a good game,
200 plus
though.
hours of your life.
Yeah, I did.
And you know they're doing that with Shin Megami Tensei 5, and I'm like tempted
vengeance.
to get that
Those fuckers.
because there's going to be a lot more content and a more complete story. It's like their complete vision, and I already
Atlas,
enjoyed it. So
why you
I
do this,
just
Atlas?
it's like they have me hostage.
Yeah,
Fix this.
but that's kind of the thing, at least with Persona, right? I feel like the Persona fandom is really specific about like spoilers. I think that's usually the big driver, is that people don't want to get spoiled, so they have to play, like they're gonna play Persona 6 on launch and then Persona 6 Velvet or whatever, you know?
Yeah, I just
that's a
said
good
what I
name.
said. I'm gonna do it again
Yep,
because I'm stupid.
I'm gonna do it, but I know I'm like, I have a Persona tattoo. That's my only tattoo so
That's
far.
true. He does.
Yeah, like I'm stuck in it.
Yeah, Persona is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what else is good?
What?
Deep Rock Galactic Survivor.
Hell
dude.
It
The
is good.
Survivor, like the reverse. What are we calling it?
I
A
don't know.
heaven
I've heard
shooter?
people call them bullet heavens. I've heard them reverse bullet hells. I don't really know. I haven't
I'm a
really
fan
found
of
a
bullet
name that I
heaven.
like.
Reverse shmup.
But this one is like, there's been a lot that have come out since Vampire Survivors went big, and some of them are okay. Like there's another one that I was playing. I don't remember the name. I'm always gonna fucking forget. Death Must Die. Like I do like it, but it's just so feature, like it needs some time. It's early access. But Deep Rock Galactic Survivor has got so much going on. And it's so well done. It's early access also, so it's not done. But what's in there, it's got a shit ton to do. And if you play Deep Rock Galactic, it uses those same classes and stuff, but translates them into that, and they are really fun. Like even like having to like mine through rock is still in it, and like it's a strategic element because it's like it's the same like top down kind of look, like kind of like a Vampire Survivor, so where you're running around and the guns will automatically shoot for you, you get upgrades, blah blah. Same premise.
Right.
But what's neat, there are ores and stuff to collect that like kind of block your path, but you can like carve your way through them, and you can kind of use that to naturally kite and make new pathing for enemies, because there's more than you're going to be able to kill. Pretty much at all times. Like even if you're getting like really good buffs and stuff, you're going to get overwhelmed. That's kind of the point of Deep Rock Galactic though too, is that if you play the original, like you're fucked at some point. Like that's part of it. They want you to run away. Like you have to have an escape route. And so you get to kind of create these on the map, and it's just not done in a 3D plane, which is interesting. And it works out really well.
Kinda look.
Yeah. It's they translate it super well. Like it wasn't just like we're gonna just make this and cash in on this, popularity of this genre, but they're really smartly done. Like it's very interesting the quick tactical decisions you have to make in the moment. And the 4 different classes play quite differently to one another. I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Like I don't know if it's quite grabbed me like Vampire Survivors, because that's just so easy to just get in and just see numbers go everywhere. This definitely takes more of your attention in terms of having to think strategically, because Vampire Survivors, obviously you have to pay attention all the time, but you're not really like, I have to think 4 moves ahead or something, you know what I mean?
I mean, you can technically AFK in Vampire Survivors.
You could.
In Survivor, you cannot.
At a point. Yeah, Deep Rock, you could not in that.
Yeah, because I don't remember, like Vampire Survivor, there were like environmental obstacles, but it was never to the point where you have to strategically think about it too hard.
Yeah.
Whereas it sounds like here with Deep Rock, you can like manipulate the environment. And
Yeah, you can
create
manipulate the
your own
environment, and like the second biome, I have not tried the third biome, the place that I've gone to, but like it has lava on the ground, and you're like, oh fuck, I have to like move around this now on top of everything, and like some of it's molten rock, and you're like, well, do I really need to carve through that and take the hit? It's a super well done game. Already, it's not out yet, and I'm already like, this fucking is great. It is a phenomenal game. And what's funny about that is like Deep Rock Galactic, like people know of it. I don't think a lot of people necessarily play. It does have a big player base that's pretty like insular in there. Like it's more popular than people realize, I think. Like it's a pretty big game. It just doesn't make its way out into the wider gaming sphere for whatever reason in any way, but the
Yeah.
community is like super active and into it.
Like it
it's
honestly
good.
it reminds me of, like, they're not similar, but it reminds me of Dwarf Fortress, like how the community, it's the
In
same
a
where you
way.
don't think about Dwarf Fortress, but whenever it comes up, people are like, fuck yeah, Dwarf Fortress.
Yeah,
You know?
and Deep Rock Galactic itself is a very fun and good game that
Yeah.
I have played and enjoyed, and this is a really, really good. I think because of what it is, where Deep Rock Galactic is a little bit of a different kind of vibe to get into, different kind of genre of game. This is a little easier for people, I think, to wrap their head around. I would imagine once, but it's really weird how games will be in early access and do all right for a while, and then they hit that 1.0 and just explode. It's so funny to me because they've been available this whole time. But I would guess, I do not know what their roadmap is or anything, but I would think that when they hit their 1.0, whatever that looks like, that they would see it's going to be a very popular game when it comes out, I would guess, because it's going to be the new darling of that genre. That people are gonna like a lot, because nothing's really kind of hit like Vampire Survivors, and obviously I don't think it's gonna hit like that because that's such a rare thing to happen, but I think it's gonna be a pretty big one.
Well, it's,
Like if it has a 1.0 this year, which I don't know if it does, I'm not sure it will. It's already like an indie game of the year kind of contender to me.
Wow, that's pretty intense.
It's super good.
would agree.
Like very well
it's
made.
at 23,000, like, or 24,000 reviews, which is a lot
That's a
for
lot.
an early access game.
That's more than I thought it had.
And there's like almost 5,000 people playing it, and it's not even multiplayer. So that
Yeah,
kinda
it's not
tells you a
multiplayer.
lot. But I hope
I
it
wonder
is
if that's in the
multiplayer.
cards in the future, because it is a multiplayer. Deep Rock Galactic is a multiplayer game. That would
Yeah.
change it quite a bit.
I mean, like Vampire Survivor added multiplayer eventually, right?
Yeah.
True.
One thing I'm interested to know is how they're going to handle, like, because Deep Rock Galactic has 4 classes. This has 4 classes.
Yeah.
Vampire Survivors has like dozens of characters. And
Yeah,
I'll
but
be-
they're all.
they're-
How different are some of them, really? Though Let's
They're
be
not
fair.
too different.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if they're just gonna like add more weapons and levels, or if they
Yeah,
might add like
so
another class.
There's
like, who
there's
knows?
4 classes that each have their own, like, I don't know what they call them. I can't remember, like subclass, where they have a different modifier,
Oh,
something
yeah,
that's
that's
important
right.
to them. So really, between the 4 of them, right now they have 3 apiece. So there's 12 different things you could choose from.
Yeah,
So you have
that's
your
true.
base scout or whatever, and then he can do other stuff. And I think it usually just changes kind of the loadout of what you start with, and like one of your little like unique abilities. But those games have a lot of charm, and this is super well made. It looks phenomenal too. It's a great looking game. I was very surprised. I knew it when the other reason that I wanted to bring it up is that, like, it's Deep Rock Galactic, because it's not so talked about outside of its community. I had no idea Survivor was even a thing until not that long ago. And it's like, this feels like something that should. And I've played Deep Rock Galactic. I'm not like super way into it like some people are. But I've played it. I'm like, how the fuck? Like, there's no word about this out there. It feels like I don't know many people. Like, we know of it because we are fucking nerds and pay attention to gaming stuff. So we usually know about stuff more than other people. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
Yeah. Like I probably, like, it's on Steam, right? Because early
Yeah.
access. Yeah. So yeah, I've been meaning to like check it out. Because honestly,
it's
I've
a
been
good
feeling
one.
like I need a palate cleanser.
It would be really good for that.
A
Yeah.
Steam Deck game for sure.
It would be
is it-
perfect Steam Deck game.
Is it verified? I don't know because early access, right?
how
It
can you
might not be. Let's
tell?
see. I'll go on the store.
I mean, I could
page.
probably still boot it, but then whether it's playable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a demanding game.
It is verified, so there you go.
Oh hell
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it is phenomenal.
And it's only $10. And I know that we
Yep.
don't like
$10.
rate games with prices, and we're not doing that here. It's $10.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of a low investment to try out a pretty awesome game.
You know, I wonder how much. I know we're not developers, so we can't speak authoritatively to this. But like one of the big reasons games can be expensive is that development, like a AAA game, that's hundreds of millions of budget, right? Like it's a lot of money. But then these survivor likes, these reverse bullet hells, whatever you want to call them. I mean, Vampire Survivor is famously less than $5 usually, right? Like,
Well, yeah, and it's also kind of there's some assets that they may have kind of taken and ripped off and other stuff. So there's things that people don't like to talk about that with Vampire Survivors, but they kind of did rip off some assets from places. But whatever.
yeah, but I'm just thinking, like, in terms of development budget, like I'm curious kind of how much because you like so far a lot of these survivor likes are like even less than 15, which is like I feel like 15 to 25 is the usual range for indie games.
Yeah, like it felt like because what Hades when it came out was what 25. That was kind of like a premium.
Yeah,
When that game was worth more than that.
100%. But like I think if you bought it in early access, right, wasn't it maybe like 20ish?
Maybe, I don't remember, but
yeah,
it's definitely where they seem to land, and it's like that's part of the bigger problem where people are talking about this AAA industry like collapsing under its own weight. Because we don't have any of those like middle ground games coming out anymore. Where that was like the fodder that fed PS2, and why there were so many like weird and cool games that came on that. It's got such an insanely cool library of games because those were coming out all the time. They had all these weird experimental, mid-sized to small games that they were letting big developers make, and they just don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Because even like we were trying to get in on the roguelike stuff because that was like before this bullet hell stuff being real popular. Well, roguelikes are still super popular. They're always going to be around. This is a roguelike. A roguey wogie, I should say.
Yes.
Like we saw AAA has been getting in on those. Trying to get going.
Yeah.
So...
But I mean, like what has there been? There's been the Ragnarok one. There was
Returnal.
Returnal.
Yeah, Prey Moon Crash.
Yep.
Oh, Deathloop too, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess like I've played a few of those AAA roguelike experiences, and there is something weird, I think, about how indie roguelikes have a certain charm to them that none of the AAA ones I've found have felt the same to me.
Well, and there's usually like a little too much pomp around a AAA one, a little too much like in your way. Where like we've talked about Dead Cells a few times. Like you're in and out. Like, all right, I don't need to see this fucking cutscene or do like walk to the stupid fucking thing. I'm running out the door. I'm boom, next run going. I'm gone. Yep. And that's you're just going through the motions of it. Like it's just get to the fucking game, fuck everything else. And a lot of indie games they're good at doing that because they don't need that other stuff. Like that's not why they're making the game for.
Yeah.
Where these AAA games feel the need to add that stuff on.
Yeah, because when I think about my time with Returnal, like that had a lot of story to it, and it's a fun game, but whenever like we're talking about it now, I don't feel that itch to like, oh, one more run would be fun. Yeah. But Dead Cells, immediately, I'm like, fucking, let's do one more run. Hades, let's do another run.
I was about to say, Hades is the good middle ground where it did accomplish that, like having a little hub area doing that, like well, and where you could easily just go through it and you're like, I don't need to talk to anybody, I'm fucking bouncing if you wanted to, kind of thing.
But there's also so many lines where if you talk to everyone every time, there'd still be new shit to see.
There's tons to do it, yes.
Yeah.
That's why it's good middle ground, I think.
Yeah, with like a lot of these indie roguey wogies, you have like a more minimalist art style, which kind of has its own charm to it, more than like the super polished, AAA look.
This super realistic graphics.
Yeah. Though we are seeing games like that new Prince of Persia. I mean, I don't know if that's AAA or not.
Ubisoft has been doing, I wouldn't call it a AAA game, but Ubisoft has been doing these smaller, like they did that other Prince of Persia small game.
Lost Crown. Yeah, that one was great.
Yeah.
And there's something really charming, especially about the upcoming game. Its art style is like
the Rogue Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. That music was fucking good too.
So
it was.
Yeah, but that's another example, right? Of like, I think if Ubisoft had built that with one of their in-house studios, I don't think it would have that same charm as like the one that we're seeing now from Evil Empire, the folks who did Dead Cells updates. Like, it's great.
Boy, while we're on the topic of indie stuff, I wanted to bring something up, and I'm annoyed that I saw this tweet now about it. I didn't read it yet. I should have read it before we did this, but because I noticed this the other day myself, and then Jason Schreier wrote something about it, and I was like, oh, that son of a bitch.
He beat you to it.
But I was looking at, because I was trying to get in, so Balatro's been a big deal. People have been liking that.
Oh, it's great.
And I've tried it. For some reason, it's not grabbing me. And I really like poker and stuff, and I like roguelike. I like everything about it. It's like, I should like this. But for some reason, I'm not getting into it. So I was reading more about it, look at the store page, and I was like, that publisher looks really fucking familiar. PlayStack, why do I know them? What have they been doing? And they've actually been like doing some cool shit. They're like they did. Did anybody play The Case of the Golden Idol?
No, but that's them.
Yeah. So they published that, and they published. Let me bring it up. Let me bring up their
They
page
got
here. I should have
Mortal
that up.
Shell.
But yeah, they did that. They're doing Balatro. They've done what was another one that I was like, oh wow, they did that. I guess those were the ones. But anyway, so they've been doing these interesting little indie hits that's like, oh, we might have to pay attention to PlayStack going forward, because they are just kind of coming out of nowhere.
They do have a game coming out, and
they do have a
weeks.
game that I hadn't heard of. That this looks like some fucking streamer beta if I ever see one. I mean, it might work out.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's interesting. Ooh, what's this game? This game looks cool. Little Problems is a cozy detective game about solving mysteries around minor inconveniences, everyday misunderstandings.
Oh, that sounds fucking
phenomenal.
Fun. Yeah.
The art style looks good. This is them also publishing it. Oh, PlayStack, you are one of my new favorites.
Ooh, exciting.
What are you guys doing? Anyway, that Little Problems looks fucking cool. I only just heard of it just now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, but Balatro didn't grab you though.
No, I don't know why.
Huh. Because like I'm coming at it from the opposite. I hate poker. I don't understand it. I don't find it fun.
Yeah.
Like I understand the rules. I don't see why it's fun.
Oh, because you get to take stuff from people.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't care about that. So I thought for the longest time, after all the Balatro hype, like, I mean, I'm glad people like it. I don't think it'll be for me just because I don't like poker. God, man, that game's fun. That game's fucking cool.
Yeah.
I think
it looks great.
I think
got all the stuff.
It's very dependent on the jokers you get. I think because I was like that for the first couple runs. Where I was like, this is okay, but it's not grabbing me. But once you get the ones where it kind of unlocks the thing in your brain, when you're like, now I see what I need to go for and maximize.
Gotcha.
Then it gets real cool.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna give it a go again. Because it's right up my alley for stuff, but I don't know why it wasn't grabbing me. But anyway, I just want to highlight PlayStack as a cool publisher of some smaller games that seem to be picking out interesting things. And what's cool about that is like they're not always going to nail every time, probably, because if you're picking out weird, unique shit, like that's just the nature of the business.
Yeah.
But when they do hit cool stuff, when they do, we don't need another fucking incest game. But what?
Huh?
Incest? There's an incest game that they made.
Yeah.
They didn't say it was that. They tricked us. They published it.
Was that the one with Willem Dafoe in it? And all that shit? Oh, shit.
They tricked us. Those bastards. Anyway, this reminds me that there's some DLC for Curse the Golden Idol that I haven't played that I'm going to play now.
Right now.
Well, tonight, probably.
Right this instant.
But, I just want to highlight them. PlayStack's pretty cool. Just a name to throw out there. I mean, I don't know how big they'll get eventually, but if you like cool, unique stuff, they seem to be doing that. Because I mean, Balatros came out of fucking nowhere and just took storm.
Yeah,
so they got an eye.
I feel like every month so far, there's been just like at least one breakout, unexpected hit. Balatro being one of them. Helldivers being another huge one.
Let's hope it continues. That's fun. It's fun when that happens, when it's something that wasn't necessarily on everybody's radar, or we kind of knew of it but didn't expect much of it. That's always fun.
Yeah. I've been loving Helldivers. Like honestly, Helldivers has been like taking up my Final Fantasy time. It's been that good. Just wanted to dive in. Yeah. It's just so silly, so dumb.
You're a great soldier of democracy. Thank you for your service, sir.
God bless.
Yeah, God bless. But I think maybe this is a good place to stop for this week's pod. Yeah,
I suppose.
Sure.
I guess.
We hope you enjoyed our little fun ride here this week's episode. If you did, you can hit the like button or let us know down below. Are you familiar with a lot of PlayStack's games? Have you played them? Have you played Balatro? Is that something that excites you? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you want more from us, we do a newsletter every week now. I've been writing them where we just give you a weekly digest of, if you miss these stories, they'll be in your inbox. Sometimes there's some analysis too, like in the last week's newsletter, I wrote a little analysis about kind of corporate greed and how Ubisoft is gouging us like always, but for the Java the Hutt stuff. But then you see it kind of everywhere in the industry too sometimes. So, that's a little fun thing you can check out. Or if you want to go to our site, TechRaptor.net, always publishing news, features, reviews, etc. throughout the week. But if you want more of this show, we will be back in your feeds next week, and we will see you then.
Bye-bye.
See ya.